What's bracking, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of my Leyton Orient Youth Academy career mode. I've really been enjoying recording these episodes, so hit that like button, guys, if you have been enjoying this series. Also, I obviously have always been posting growth tests, but now I'm getting really into career mode. The recent patch basically just kind of cleared up a lot of the issues with career mode, and the gameplay is a lot more enjoyable. So that's definitely helped things out for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. I definitely recommend, if you have not picked up FIFA, I think if you're a career mode fan, you'll have some fun. I probably just wait a couple weeks though and pick it up once it's on sale for Black Friday and all that. So the first match of the episode is gonna be here against Forest Green. We've been in pretty good form. You can see our manager Bugs Eater there in that coat. It's getting chilly over there in England. He's not used to it, the beautiful Chinese Mexican god. As you can see, our team in these little lineups. Beautiful sweatpants there. Beautiful pants from our goalkeeper, Jordan Wright. A couple other players showing up there. The little Scottish man, Mitchell. So you guys pretty much are going to be seeing most of the starting 11 throughout this episode, I believe. Not as much rotation as the previous episode, because we were in December and all that before, and that really made things kind of interesting with having to do a lot of squad rotation. But we have the ideal starting lineup in at the moment. Things could obviously change, but some good build-up. A nice ball here to Mitchell. Going to cut back in on this wing, try to play it across to Bennett. Cannot really get that shot off. The little turns are kind of difficult for him. He's not super agile. That's kind of an area where I think Evbakarik, our original striker, pretty much our only true striker, who was kind of benched because he wasn't performing too well, but performing a lot better. If we get him in spots like that, I think he'll be able to finish those chances. But Forest Green definitely almost scored there, hitting the post, a bit unlucky, but they are definitely giving us a bit of a challenge in this matchup, as Cassidy's going to play a really good ball here to Walker, though. The build-up looks fantastic. Walker's going to cut back in, try to get that near post, and fortunately hits that one well wide. But some good link-up play in the midfield. I think we have a really good and promising midfield. Walker, again, holding on to that, showing some strength, playing a beautiful ball over the top. Unfortunately, Bennett hits that one wide. Could have probably gone near post. But Walker has been tremendous for us in this matchup, creating a lot of chances. Didn't miss the chance before, but he's creating, getting in good spots. He's very agile, so he's good in those tight spaces like that. Vishkorek, though, using that pace, flicking up over, trying to get to Bennett. Unfortunately, not the most accurate cross. If that was a bit more accurate, that probably could have worked out. Accurate. I think I've kind of gotten the whole DJ Khaled pronunciation stuck in my head, but Vishkorek having a go and just hitting that wide on the post again. So pretty unlucky in this match so far. Vishkorek has been looking very lively, as well as Mitchell. The whole midfield has been kind of getting in good spots. Price hasn't been doing too much this game, really, along with Cassidy, but I'd say so far the man of the match has been Walker. For sure, but we did a little offside trap, not the best timed, and unfortunately we run into each other. I believe that's the plate man running into right that really prevented him from getting to that one. Not sure what plate man was doing, he just kind of ran in the box, and unfortunately we lose that header. I think that was Price that had to try to mark that one. Obviously did not time that super well. Plate man pretty much chested it in, unfortunately. That pretty much prevented the goalkeeper from getting to that one. So our response right away is we're going to move to a two-striker formation to try to get back into things. We're creating, so I think this wouldn't be too bad. Going to leave both of the creators in. It looks like Price and Walker, so two attacking-minded midfielders to try to create. We're just going to go for those goals here. Then we bring Bakarik up top with him as to play with Bennett. So nice little kind of big, tall and short combo, basically, as Bennett's like 6'3". Bakarik is a bit shorter, but can really get into those tight spaces and pretty agile. But we spawned right away. This formation can be pretty OP, honestly, against the AI. Bakarik grabbing the goal off the bench. Glad to see him performing well. Obviously was benched pretty quickly, and we decided to go with a false 9 Bennett, basically. And we end up grabbing the 1-1 draw. Probably should have won this game if we were a bit better with our chances, and a bit unlucky with the goal we gave up. But still, 5 shots, 1 shot on target. We did have that big miss from Walker, but he still definitely was the man of the match despite that miss, as he did create some really good chances. Just Bennett could not really finish, along with Vishkorek getting unlucky hitting that post. But a decent performance all around, as we'll get into some of this player training Hill. So Peter Hill, our English center back, is going to be trained up. Goosen's plate man, continuing to train him and Cassidy. Want to get that passing up, but I think we're going to move on from training Cassidy, as His short pass is decent now. His passing was really terrible. He's not amazing technically. With Cassidy, it's all about his physical ability. But we'll move on here into the second match of the episode against the Shrimps, baby. We're facing the Shrimps here. They are in 14th place, and we are in 8th, just outside of that playoff spot. So pretty close to that, to getting into the playoffs at the moment. Definitely looks like we are on track to do so. Unfortunately, a pretty bad foul given away just outside the box. I was worried when it happened. I thought that might have been inside the box. Cassidy, of course, pretty lively. He's strong. He has high stamina, pretty pacey. So he's known for getting into those little battles in the midfield. He's pretty nasty in that midfield. Just a nearly score on a free kick. That looked pretty close. Not sure if Wright had it completely covered there as a dive. I think it looked like he was going to be diving underneath the ball. But now playing this ball to Vishkorek, trying to get it back, get Bennett onto the end of that one. Back to Vishkorek though, looking for the build-up play. Walker, you can see how pacey he is, very explosive, playing the ball across to Mitchell. And Walker has been incredible so far in these first 2 games of this episode. Had the vision to see that sweat, the run in the box, the acceleration, the pace, the cutback, the agility. He's really got everything. We have 2 amazing creators really in the midfield right now with Price as well as Walker. So love to see the way they'll be able to be creative and make things happen in that midfield. And we do have a really good young center defensive mid on the rise as well that we got recently, who is English as well in Phillips. And we'll take a look at him later on in the episode. And I think we have a really promising midfield. I think we just really need to kind of shore up the attack. Mitchell has been very good though along Vishkorek, but we'll see how long they can end up performing once we end up getting promoted into like the championship and Premier League and all that. But another good ball here to Walker, utilizing that agility. Good cutback, back to Price, back to Cassidy, and just hits the post. Every midfielder connected right there as we went from Walker to Price to Cassidy. Unfortunately, could not finish the chance, but you can see how good that midfield is, the connection they have at the moment. Price doing a good job winning that header, getting onto that second ball here as Vishkorek as we played in some space. Looking to Bennett, back to Vishkorek. Good ball. He's going to play this one into the box. Walker nearly gets to that. Very close as it looked like he really had his man beat, just unfortunately could not connect with the header. Price now back to Cassidy. A very quick turn in the box, and he ends up grabbing that goal. Cassidy has been very lethal in the box, has grabbed quite a few goals. In general, our midfield does score quite a bit, as we do kind of have that false 9 look with Bennett up top. So we really are trying to create chances for each other rather than just create chances for the striker. It's more complete total football is what Buttixi is trying to accomplish here at Leyton Orient. So 6 goals so far for Cassidy. As I said before, he's pretty high among the goal total. I think it's him and Bennett might be close to being tied at the moment for the most goals in the squad. So 2-0 up, 63rd minute, trying to hold on here, but some good connection from the Shrimps in the midfield. Unfortunately, Sorensen, the big man, just gets absolutely beat, and that leads to a goal to make things 2-1. So it's going to be a tough final 30 minutes of the match or so, trying to hold on to this lead, as it seems like they're playing a lot stronger now. They've really woken up in the second half since that second goal came along in general also. We're going to try to respond though with Vishkorek, playing the ball back in the midfield to Cassie. They're kind of affording us a lot of space, playing the ball over the top. Mitchell nearly gets to that one as that's deflected out for a corner. And of course, we have some pretty big guys in the box for these. We're going to put it into Sorensen, see if he can win this. Cannot get to it. Vishkorek's going to try to get to it, but now Price tries to get to that. One's cleared out, and you can see a big counter-attack opportunity here. Very poorly defended initially by Cassidy. Ball played very nicely to Vildig. And thankfully, Osgaard makes up for that poor challenge to end up grabbing that. Basically, the good block, deflection right there from him. Now, Gar trying to get back on the counterattack here. Walker played the ball out wide to Mitchell, and he's going to try to utilize that pace and agility to make something happen. Nearly had a really good pass, but back inside to Cassidy, who's going to showcase some patience around the box. Play back to Simonsen, back to Bennett. These guys all connecting the midfield. Good spacing from everyone. Cassidy back around to Mitchell, who's going to wait to get the ball to Cassidy. He's going to wait for this run in the box to Price and perfectly finish. That is just how good this midfield looks chemistry-wise. They're all just really assisting each other. Bennett does a good job showing Oh my god, I'm like a record player right now that's broken. Showing to the ball and really creating space for others in that midfield as well when he drops back. He really plays like a false nine. I was thinking he'd be more like a target man, but I decided to give him kind of the false nine setting, and I think that really helps out. But they do come back in the 89th minute, the Shrimps, with a big finish on that near post. Really powerful shot. Right, maybe could have done a little bit better because I feel like from there, I think it's more likely that you can be beat near post, and make him try to shoot across would have been the best way to approach it. But still, we were able to hang on and grab a 3-2 victory in what I thought was a very exciting match, as I think we showcased some of our issues defensively. I think right back is a bit of an issue at times. Sorensen is just not super agile. He really was responsible for that first goal, and sometimes we can be a little bit rash in our defending, but we also showcased how lethal we can be in the attack in the final third. As Buckrick is very close to the 60, so we'll see if he has a potential status, which I think could be a big deal if he does have it, because I've been trying to train him up quite a bit. His big issue is just his finishing. It's only a 55 finishing, 51 attack position, so you really want to try to improve that. I think that's the main thing for him, so we can have at least one decent, genuine striker. I think we're doing well with this false nine type of look up top, but I think we should probably try to have a genuine striker there as well, at least for rotational purposes would be nice. Because we do have quite a few midfielders. We did bring in some players such as Hill, who isn't super high potential or overall at the moment, but he looks pretty creative. He actually looks like he could be a good false nine even also. He's quite good in the attack, and we can take a look at him a little bit later. We have 2 Hills actually as on the team as well. So getting into this match here against Cambridge, they do have a pretty interesting squad from what I remember. It seems like a lot of these players are buying a lot of these teams in League 2 are buying players in the Chinese league. I'm not sure exactly why this is happening, but that's kind of like just some of the stuff that happens in career mode. So a lot of these teams actually have really good young Chinese players, I've noticed. I can't remember if Cambridge was one of them, might be getting them mixed up with another squad. But either way, good patience in this midfield. Davis getting the start in the midfield, cutting the ball back to Bennett, and beautiful work, just unfortunately was saved, but that looked incredible right there. Davis getting the start due to a little bit of match congestion, I'm guessing. I'm sorry for not showing the original starting lineup, but Davis is also a very good creator in that midfield. He can play center mid, he can also play on the wing. He's going to be playing a lot more. Again, some good connection. Davis making a good run into the box, showcasing his ability there, and he's just been really doing a good job connecting. I believe it was Walker that I had to bench for this game because of the match congestion, just because that usually is a bit of a problem. But Plateman nearly gets a little glancing header into the back of the net. We can take a look at that again. Take a look at him making that near post run, glancing it over just wide, very close, just inches away from slotting in. We again are very big, so we've got some good options in that kind of final third. So Walker actually came on right now in the 75th minute. This game was pretty boring until now. Vishkarek played through beautifully. He's going to look for the cutback to Davis. And he was really incredible this game, Davis, and he gets rewarded with a goal to go up 1-0 in the 77th minute after all of that. You guys saw some of the link-up play, the runs he was making in the box, and I think it was all kind of bound to happen for him to grab a goal like that. He was actually pretty unhappy at one point in his playing time. I thought we were actually going to transfer him out because of how unhappy he was at one point. But he's playing a lot more because we're giving him more chances in that midfield as well as on that wing. He was actually one of the first players we signed from the youth academy from what I can recall. So that's also why he may have been upset because he was actually with like the first batch of all the real players in that first season. So glad he was able to stick around because he's looking very good in that midfield. Cambridge is looking for one final gasp here. And Dallas running at the defense. Terrible 1v1 defending. Thankfully, though, we somehow get to that. I'm not sure if it was a bad pass or Plateman got a hand on that. But either way, not the most exciting matchup. There's only a few clear chances. But we still end up grabbing that 1-0 victory thanks to a very nice goal from late there from Davis. Just kind of pretty much flicked the ball up over a defender who stuck his foot out and grabbed the goal. But still made a very good run. Does a good job showing into the box. Was very active in the final third for us and definitely deserved the game winner that he got. So now another matchup here we'll be getting into against Crawley Town. So at home as well. We'll see how we can perform in this one. They've got all the beautiful scenery here. I've been showing a lot of. I just love the way it looks when it's kind of in this kind of. I guess it's like afternoon time. It looks really beautiful, at least on my screen. So I guess that's kind of why I'm showing things around here. But Davies is going to be rewarded with another start. With how he's been performing, he really does deserve it, honestly. We'll take a look at the starting 11 for this one. A pretty mixed squad, obviously, because of the rotation we had to do. We are getting into a bit more match congestion here now in these games. I was not expecting as much in this episode, but still, Bakaric up top, Mitchell, Davis on the wing, Cassidy, Walker, and Phillips. Phillips, again, we were talking about before, in a fully rotated back line, essentially, as well, with Shardik, Hill, Cook, and Goossens. So Goossens is not very mobile as well. He's a very tall defender. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, I need a bit of water there, but Goossens is a pretty tall, immobile defender, but he does a good job in some spots. Unfortunately, played a very poor pass there back, but thankfully, we have some pretty tall center backs that really kind of just help when we are in those little crossing situations, as the opposition does tend to cross quite a bit down. Walker with a big chance, cutting back in, looked for the sweats, when Walker probably should have gone to goal. I think a bit of he was a bit passive there, considering some of the chances he might have screwed up before, but you can see them mostly trying to get those crosses in, mate, and create some chances that way, but it's not really working out. Grego Cox, who would have just plays a beautiful ball, but a huge save, huge save there from our backup goalkeeper. We decided to give him a go in this one. Wilson is a pretty strong goalkeeper. We have quite a few decent ones, but we'll go with a 4-4-2 to try to grab the victory in this match. Decide, whatever, we're going to go for it. Bring Bennett up top. Phillips and Cass are going to sit in that midfield, and we'll see if we can end up grabbing the victory. I think we deserve to try to maybe go for these points. I mean, we're pushing for that playoff spot, so obviously a point would be nice, but Bugsky decides to take a risk and go for all three, and unfortunately we were given a bit of a lifeline. A terrible clearance attempt led to a really nice chance that they can take advantage of the CPU. And now a big save from Wilson right there on that near post as well. So Crawley Town is actually looking a bit more lively since that whole substitution, moving to the 4-4-2. So it looks like they could be grabbing the goal when we were the ones, of course, looking to grab it. So tactical change may not be working out, but a good chance here. Bennett cannot play the ball correctly, though. It's just completely baited by the defender. The interception was beautiful one. I think he just really looked like he got baited in. Didn't look like he was going to cover that pass and then went back into it. But now a good chance back out on this wing. I'm going to play that ball inside for a good finish. Unfortunately, 83rd minute, going down 1-0. We probably could have been a bit more passive. Maybe try to just grab those points. Just any points would have been good rather than 0. But we decided to go for it. Bugsy decided to go for it and see what he could do here. So late into the match, 86th minute, even the center back Shardik is getting up here. Not the guy you want, but it's not a good pass from Cassidy. If that was a good pass, that probably would have been a good chance on goal, but unfortunately did not work out. As we end up losing this one 1-0 to Crawley Town, decided to go for it in the end. So we weren't really creating too much. We had some tired legs out there. And unfortunately could not end up grabbing the victory after we decided to take a risk. But it's okay. We're still doing very well this season. We actually had no shots on target. Walker kind of responsible for that one. I mean, I am basically. As we went for a sweat, we probably just gone for goal. And that probably was kind of the difference in this matchup. Certainly had some chances to win it. As we'll get into some more squad rotation here, you can see in this next match, we're going to go with a bit of a change in the midfield. Vishko, who's normally a winger, is going to play at center mid. Price and Bennett in the midfield as well. Bakaric up top, Mikulust at the right wing. Mitchell, Simonsen, Plateman, Osgaard, and Sorensen. So we've got our whole kind of... Our backline is the normal first choice, but kind of changing things around on the wing a bit with Mikulust and, of course, Bakaric up top. Bennett dropping the midfield, Price, and Vishkorek also in the midfield. So interesting trying to see how Vishkorek plays there as we'll get into this match against Rockdale. They were actually first placed earlier on, but they've dropped a bit here after starting the season very strong. But doing a good job pressing here. Beautiful press, exactly what we want to see from the side. Ending up grabbing the possession back, trying to create something. Bennett back in the midfield to Vishkorek. Going to play the ball back to Bennett. Play the ball into Bakaric. Unfortunately, hits the post. The crossbar, excuse me. It just seems like you cannot finish those headers like that. You got to just try to just do little ground crosses. But now played through gives Price a very good run. Is getting him to try to flick it up to Bakar. Goes for the little chilena. Unfortunately, does not work out. But that was beautiful nonetheless. You're seeing some good combination in the midfield. But good job from Ushgard. Unfortunately for him, he does not take advantage of the weird deflection back to the man he was marking there. But a good ball in. Thankfully, right with those beautiful goalkeeper pants, is able to grab that save. Very good positioning from him nonetheless. So trying to hold some possession, play out from the back here. Ushgar's going to push up a little bit, get the ball to Price, back to Miklebust, back to Sorensen, and also try to get a run here from Miklebust. He does have a bit of pace to him. He does have kind of a little agile frame. Back to Bakaruk, does a good job holding up play. Back to Vishkorek, and look at that back heel to Bakaruk to end up grabbing that goal. That was just beautiful play, playing out the back with some beautiful connection. You gotta love to see that. Bakaruk is cooking definitely recently. He's been grabbing some goals. He's getting into form. He definitely was a liability at the start of this career mode, but now he's been able to get into form and grab those goals. Also just good in the build-up play as well in this play. We've definitely been working on that with the training, trying to improve his passing, his positioning, along with his finishing. So all those really showcased in that goal from him. So nice to see him grabbing his second goal of the season after having his first goal earlier on in this episode as well. So that's wonderful, as they had a pretty good chance here on goal. The one thing I do think in League 2 here, the finishing from the CPU is a bit low. I think it's always going to be a thing probably for the lower league teams, obviously, with finishing in general stat not being super high, but still. Bakaruk doing a good job with the hold-up play. Turn by Vishkorek. Unfortunately, hits that off of the post, but a great turn from Vishkorek, now playing a kind of attacking role in that midfield centrally. Bennett will be kind of more defensive, and Price will be kind of the box-to-box, it looks like. But a good ball played in, and that hits the post again, but the rebound falls back to Rockdale as they tie things up 1-1 in the 44th minute. So not the best defending on that little near post cross. Got to defend that a lot better, keep up with our line, and mark a bit better in those instances. But Price with a running at the defense, a good ball to Bakaruk, is going to cut back, going to sweat the ball across to Price. But unfortunately, that is saved. A very big save from the goalkeeper there. Great reaction save. Price could have maybe done a little bit better, but we're seeing and how good a form Bakaruk has been recently, being rewarded with some opportunities now because of that. Mitchell going to play the ball back in the middle to Bennett. Cannot get a good touch on that. Maybe we should just try to hit it first time, but still going to be a little bit cleaner with those touches in those moments. Bennett back here to Vishkorek. Unfortunately, is taken down with a penalty. And I say unfortunately because I am completely awful with penalties. That probably should have been a red card because that is a goal-scoring situation for sure. I'm turning in the box, and he would have been completely on my back, would have been wide open. So I had no clue what to do here. Price, unfortunately, is the one that will be up taking it, and that is saved here. So it could have definitely changed things around hitting that, but we still are pushing forward a few minutes later. Price here to Bakaruk, who's going to look for the ball back into Miklebust. Unfortunately, does not have the best of touches there again. Touches have been really letting us down in the box. But now Walker will come in, play on the wing actually, and not seen him play too much in a spot like that. But good connection with Price, just what you expect from the usual midfielder. Price is going to go into that wing. Walker's going to get tucked back inside, but Vishkorek going to do a good job running at the defense. Going to cut back, goes near post. Unfortunately, that is blocked. So we again are just getting so close to the goal, but cannot find it yet. Trying to run the defense, but cannot make anything happen. As we end up drawing this one 1-1. It was a very exciting match. We had our share of chances, but unfortunately, we just could not finish them, it seemed like. But still, some good performances nonetheless. Very encouraging performance from Bakaruk, the youngster who again was pushed out of the squad in favor of kind of a false nine look with the center mid playing in that striker spot. But is showing well, has been grabbing a few goals, been taking advantage of the chances we're giving him, and you have to love to see that from a youngster. So had plenty of chances, obviously 8 shots, 5 on target, and a few other chances we couldn't get shots off due to poor touches and some dangerous spots in the box. So training injury, unfortunately, Vishkorek is going to be out for 2 months after looking pretty strong in that center mid role. Has been pretty good on the wing. So Callum Davis, the English winger / center mid, also will definitely be slotting in, getting some more opportunities for him. So even though it's unfortunate to be missing Vishko Rick, Davis has also been in good form and will be slotting in that right wing here in this match against Exeter City. You can see Mitchell has been growing quite a little bit along with Price, and I have not trained either of them. So they're pretty high rated, obviously, compared to other players. I think they're highest rated players in the squad in general. So taking a look here in this matchup against Exeter City, I think we really just gonna want to try to push closer to that playoff spot. You can see 41 points tied with Exeter City. Just they are above us on goal differential, so tied on points with them is what I meant to say. But again, we are fouled in the box on the 8th minute. Price is the one fouled, and he'll have to step up to take this one. We'll see what happens again. Maybe we'll do better this time. I had no clue what to do, and that is just completely taken wide. Someone help me with penalties, my God. I've heard it's pretty hard against the CPU in general, but that was just absolutely terrible. There's no excuse for that, honestly. As Walker will be going, recovering the ball here on a second ball. Then again here off of a deflection, off a block on a long shot. Price doing a good job connecting with Walker. Back to Bennett. Here to Mitchell. Is going to cut the ball back. Look for a shot. Walker's going to hit this one. Fortunately, it is blocked again. Walker just does not seem to have too much luck in front of goal. But we're going to put the ball in here on this corner kick. Plate man is going to hit it back and nearly bounces in thanks to Bennett being in the right spot at the right time. Unfortunately, does not go in, but it looked like a pretty good chance there that was not taken, unfortunately. Now, Walker doing a good job getting that interception. Simonsen playing the ball forward to Mitchell. Bennett waiting for the run from Cassidy. And he just kind of trips over him and plays the ball across to Bennett. A weird, reckless kind of challenge from the Exeter City defender right there. And Cassidy just kind of skips over him and plays the ball across for a nice goal. So Bennett being in the perfect spot for that sweat, as Cassidy didn't really have the best of angles to try to either go near post or kind of flick it over to his right foot and finesse it in. But quite a few goals from Bennett so far. Him and Cassidy have really been the main ones scoring. But of course, Bakarik is now on 3 goals, or 2 or 3, and he's doing pretty well. But now good play here to Cassidy. He's going to take the long shots, and fortunately that goes well wide. Trying to grab a second here. But now Exeter City on the attack, back out on this wing, going to play the ball in, and it's going to fall kindly for us on the second ball, and it's a really good counterattack it looks like already. Davis playing the ball to Bennett, some hold-up player to Cassidy, here to Mitchell, who's going to be completely through, using that pace to get in behind. A chance here on goal, and fortunately is not taken, while hitting that right at the goalkeeper. Trying to finesse that around, but just not a very good finisher, it seems like. Now, 73rd minute, and nearly goes in, hitting the post. Thankfully, someone there for the rebound, because that was a very close chance for them hitting that post. Now, a good little turn, but thankfully, Plate Man is able to get to that one and grab that interception, that tackle, and play the ball out. But 90th minute, looks like we could have another chance here. Can't get to that second ball. And it's Jose going to run out the defense a little bit. Some good hold-up play back to Law. Plays the ball over the top, near post. Unfortunately, we just get a deflection there. It looked like he had that chance to tie things up 1-1 in the 92nd minute, basically. Basically, that was the last kick of the game that he could not take advantage of. So we got to be a little bit stronger covering those near post runs. They really were a bit unlucky. Should have probably grabbed the point right there, grabbed that equalizer. Of course, we had a few chances to put the game away. We have to be a lot more clinical in front of goal for sure. As we'll move on here, 9 shots, 3 on target. It really just shows what I'm saying. We had some good opportunities in front of goal that we cannot take. It's going to be kind of the theme of this episode, but still, we're grabbing some results. As we'll move into some simmed matchups here, as again, we kind of want to try to move on, at least get to February. So as you grab a 2-0 victory in a simmed matchup with Cassidy and Walker grabbing the goals. Bakarik has now hit the 61 thanks to the training, showcasing again for you guys. Goosen's up to the 52. Going to start training Uskard as well, as we need to get him up just in general. Our center backs are like okay for this level, but they are not League One quality, I would say, or definitely not championship, some of the other center backs. But grabbing another victory in a sim matchup, I think was a draw. I didn't really whatever, but either way, we will sim again against Swindon, and we do grab a 2-1 victory as well. I think, with how the morale is and everything, we have a pretty high morale squad, and that's kind of affecting some of the stuff. So Connor Clark, 59 overall, but I do not know why I did this. I released him. I should have kept him. I should have kept him on as a backup winger. I mean, 73 to 79 potential is not terrible. that was a really stupid move for me, in my opinion. Looking back on it, that's not awful potential. We could have kept him around, but still, I will have to live with my decision in the end. I saw some other players, nothing really too exciting. Van Dam looks okay, is one player who doesn't look too bad. So take a look at some of the potentials of some players. Showing great potential, of course, is Plate Man. Has potential to be special, though, is Phillips. Phillips has that potential to be special, and again, I think Walker has a potential as well. So our midfielder is going to be pretty good with Phillips, Walker. I thought he had a status. I thought he might have before. Exciting prospect is Price. I actually thought Walker had a status before, but maybe I was misinformed, but still, we have some good, strong midfielders. Plateman also has a status as well. Showing great potential, though, is Bakrik. This is who I really wanted to show, because I was really down on him before, but now he's hit that 60 overall. He does have showing great potential status. Of course, we could see that now. And physically, he has some pace and agility. So he's a good, agile type of striker. And tactically, he has very good ball control, curve, and dribbling. So he's good dribbling. His finishing, though, is his weakness at the moment. So if you get that finishing up, I think he can be a really solid striker for us as we move up in these lower leagues. So I'm glad to see how he's been forming in general, though. Obviously, he's been grabbing some goals recently, and just looking a lot better than he was at the start, because I could not just hold the ball with him. He was losing the ball so easily. His ball control didn't really feel like that amazing or anything. He doesn't seem very strong on the ball in general. But we'll take a look at what we'll probably do for the next episode. We'll try to get closer to like April or so. I want to be able to do finish 2 months or something, like an episode is kind of the plan for this, as we kind of push pretty quickly. I think once we get to the championship in the Premier League, we'll take things a bit slower maybe. But now that we're here in the lower leagues, I think we're gonna want to try to do like a month or two, finish 2 months episode or so. So maybe try to get to April and see how things go. As obviously we're in a pretty good spot now, in 4th place in the table, performing very well here. We got some quality players, obviously, and we're just 6 points away from the top. We did not perform very well at the start, so I did not expect to be in this spot. But we do look very good now. 4th place, you guys saw. We do have some very promising young players, and we'll continue to take a look at them and let them continue to grow. I'm really enjoying this series, guys. I hope you are as well. So I'll try to have the next episode out in a few days. I have recorded quite a bit of these episodes in advance, so we should have some, at least like 3 or 4 episodes a week is the plan. Might be for Chalupa lovers. With that, thank you all for tuning in. I love you all. I love you. Yes, thank you all for all your support recently. Hit that like button. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.